Big going on here, in case you're coming in. Know a lot of people wait a few minutes before they get these. Pretty boring stuff tonight. Documented a couple of things. No big deal. Had a VIA security guard following me around. I'd say security guard, it was a security officer. So decided to go live. Either way, spoke with a UT Health Science Center security guard back there at this property right here, which is area. And at this point, I'm just going to be walking back down by VIA, and then going over to the county jail as well, because when you do what I do, sometimes officers cross the line, follow you, harass you, do things that they shouldn't. I get it. They want to know who I am, where I'm going, etc. All they need to do is ask me. I'll tell them. But that doesn't always happen. You know, if they're polite with me, I'm polite with them. Either way, so I'm walking back down towards VIA Central Hub, Joint Law Enforcement Center. Their officer tried to follow me, and I gave him the slip. Yeah, when you know one-way streets and you double back on them, it frustrates them when they're in vehicles. But knowing that he's out there determined to follow me, I just decided, what the hell. Had a person come in for a second, view it, and leave. No big deal there. Like I said, when you do what I do, and you know sometimes there's some shady stuff, sometimes it's better if you don't have alternate methods to record, to just document it, live stream, and hope someone's out there watching. So that if something bad does occur, someone else out there is actually aware of what's going on. Now you got your same security guard here watching that parking lot like a hawk down at the 123 North Medina building. Gotta love that. She was watching me film the K9 officer earlier, and she tried to be discreet about it, but she wasn't really good about it. As I walked around the corner, she just kept moving to get a better view of me. She's back at that same door now. Because the way I am, I'll walk over here and just walk right by her so that I do get her on film again. Earlier she was trying to be sneaky and avoid being on the camera, and I'm like, what's the point? You're watching me, I'm watching you. It's not like she's doing anything wrong. She's observing. That's her job. There's a crosswalk down here. I'll go across it. When I walk by the parking lot, go across. I'm sure if she saw me from that distance, she's told that officer in Unit 33, he's back down here again. Come back down here. You know, when you play little games with security or whoever, you got to realize, you know, there's no harm intended. It's just that when they want to be certain ways, you got to be certain ways back. So she was waiting right here in this lobby. Here she is. There she is again. So, yep. And as soon as I show up, as soon as she sees me, she takes off and hides. And again, that's what I'm saying. It's funny. She's out here taking pictures of me walking by, but as soon as I take a picture of her taking a picture of me, she gets mad and walks away. To me, that's just one of those games that I play. Now, I do see the transit police already on the corner there. They'll be back down there. Actually, that's SAPD. Either way, it don't matter, because I'm heading over by the jail now. Jail's right around the corner here too. Sometimes you got to be careful about your phrasing. I may be heading to jail, Auditors, that's a joke. Don't do anything illegal. You should not go to jail. Does not mean that you won't, because sometimes officers cross lines. In the meantime, if you're out here exposing it, you take that chance every time you film an officer who gets their ego hurt or gets upset. And again, like I said, when officers decide to follow you around, is it really them doing their duty, or is it their ego? And like I said with the guy, I gave him the slip on a one-way street, and I'm like, he's going to go this way looking for me, and I'm going to go right back to the den of evil, as I call it, Metropolitan Police. I see there's a viewer out there. I'm not seeing the name. If you want to ask any questions, feel free to do that. Right now I'm heading up towards the Bexar County Jail. This is Commerce Street here. Sorry, I stopped to see or watch chat. I'm not seeing any messages or any questions, so that's fine. I do appreciate you watching, whoever you are, especially if you're with the Fusion Center. You know what I'm doing. If you're not, if you're just a viewer who says, hey, I wonder what this idiot's out doing filming in the middle of the night, why he thinks it's funny that cops play games. He plays games with the cops. I mean, this is what I'll do. If they don't like being filmed, they take certain actions. And when they take certain actions, sometimes it's inappropriate, sometimes it's just, petty. And we laugh about that. So, like I said, I see there's another viewer in the chat room or in the room. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Basically, that's the Bexar County Jail now. Heading down here, just left the Via Metropolitan Transit Authority. You got these railroad tracks here that run along the side of the jail. And this is 200 North Kamal up here. That's the jail. So, if you ever hear me smart ass give a response of what my address is, and I say 200 North Kamal, that's it. Bexar County Jail. So, again, welcome to the live chat or the live view. If you have any questions, feel free to post them. I'm not seeing any right now. Don't anticipate any issues. Again, simply turned it on because one of the VO officers decided to follow me around after I left the Transit Authority area, and you never know what's going to happen at that point. So here's North Kamal in the West Commerce Detour. One of my viewers had asked me where's a good place to park if you're going to videotape in downtown. And I said right here in this area, jokingly, because that way when you get out of jail, you can walk right to your car. Again, it was a joke. I hope she realized that. May not be funny to everyone, but to me it is, because if you do what I do long enough, you will come across an officer who will try to arrest you no matter what you do. They get their feelings hurt. It's just the way it is. I've got 3 viewers now. Thank you all for being here and watching, supporting. Again, this is a pretty boring video. Simply a walk around by Via and the Bexar County Jail. That's the Bexar County Jail there. And lots of interesting things. Last week when Via followed me, I actually looped right back to the same area because it's the last place they expect you to go. Reserved for sheriff's vehicles only. And again, if you're out doing audits, filming, whatever, and officers, for whatever reason, want to follow you, I've stopped before. I wave at them and say, at corners and things, like, hey, I see you. Is there something you need? And of course, they just drive off like nothing's going on. Again, if they have any questions, it's like I told the people at the Fusion Center one night. I said, hey, if your officer really wants to know where I park my car, I'll tell him, hey, I'll let you give me a ride in my car if you buy me donuts. And of course, they laughed about it. That was right after they said, oh, we don't have anyone following you. And I said, oh, okay, that's fine. And then they went, who was the guy taking pictures of the guys following you? And I'm like, you can't have it both ways, guys. You can't be mad that one of my friends is filming you guys following me and at the same time say, oh, we're not following you. I'm like, hey, it's one of those games. I call them ghosting games. That's basically what I'm doing now, taking an alternate route around the area that I would normally walk. But, what else can you do? So, again, I see there's 2 live viewers. No one's made any comments that I'm aware of. Can't see any. So, appreciate you coming in. No questions. There you go, Aladdin Bail Bonds. The time to get to know a bail bondsman is before you need one. This is San Marcos, and again, the last time they were following me, if you follow San Marcos all the way to where it goes up and makes a left, kind of dead ends and forces you out onto, I believe it's Brazos up further, and I tricked the officers into thinking I was going up to Brazos, then doubled back and came down here to the jail. Now, if these are Fusion Center officers watching and laughing, yeah, I'm giving you my secrets just like I give them. Officers on the street should know this by now, but you got to do what you got to do. When you're being followed for no good reason, there's a good probability that they're looking to catch you for something. And again, that's why I make sure I don't jaywalk. I don't do other things. Some people laugh about that, but I've had officers drive by and say, hey, we're going to arrest you for jaywalking. I'm like, I had the light. And then right after that, I turned on my body camera so that while I'm at the next light, I'd have proof that, I wasn't. And what happened? Same officer runs the red light. Well, I have my body camera on. I'm like, dude, you're going to come talk shit and then run a red light in front of me? Not real smart. You got Mitchell bail bonds there. I'm going to step out into the street. The sidewalk, it's not really a sidewalk there. Now, if you go up this way to where that next light is, that's Martin Street up there. And I have no doubt that at that corner, the VIA police officer is staked out. Because that's where he was staked out before, waiting to see where I'm going. So I'm just going to go down this way and head up to, I believe it's Brazos or Colorado, one of the two, I'm not sure exactly. But I'll go up this way and then cut over. Because again, when you play ghosting games with cops, then you've got to be just as mindful that they're going to do what they expect you to do to a certain degree. And then you got to change up a little. They're going to go, well, the last time we saw him, he was heading this way at this location. So we'll wait by this location. We lost him here. And then they'll put a little stake out in that area. And, I mean, that's part of the game. No comments from anyone, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Appreciate everyone viewing. Again, not sure if you did have any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. After all, I'm just taking a walk. But it's been 15 minutes, and at this point, as I come up this street, probably within 4 or 5 minutes, I'm going to be able to tell if they posted up where I think they're posted up waiting for me to go by again. And the funny thing, like I've told people before, when you play coasting games, one of my favorites was Philip Turner was being followed at one time and went to a Walmart and bought a Batman costume. That's how he got his nickname, Batman. And went in and put on the Batman costume and came out. Cops were waiting outside, waiting for him to go to his vehicle. They knew he probably parked there. They'd followed him back to the Walmart, so he went in and spent, $20, whatever, bought a costume, put it on, walked right out, and ghosted him. And who knows how long they sat there waiting for him to come back to that area. But when I say, there's games that you play. If they want to play games, they can play games. If they have questions, they can certainly come up and ask them. They won't, because they know they don't have a right to ask them. They don't have probable cause. You're not doing anything illegal. They just don't like the fact that you film. They don't like the fact that you hold them accountable when they're doing things that they shouldn't. Now, this is North Richter here, and some of you will see when I do my walks throughout the downtown area, often I'm over on South Richter, over by the picnic over there. And so, I mean, if you're not sure of the area or whatever, basically straight back that way about 3 miles is Guadalupe, maybe 2 miles. And I'll walk these back streets all the time. I've got a bus pass, but often it's better for me to just walk. I like walking. It relaxes me. Still not seeing any chats. No big deal. So you get a car that pulled up over here. Now this is West Martin. I'm coming up on West Martin. The Iglesia Bautista is a church right over here on the left side. We get a lot of activity in this area. And if you look down here, I'm going to try to zoom in. Well, sorry, I'm laughing about it because there's 2 officers parked right where I knew they'd be parked. They're waiting for me to show up. Now, this is San Antonio Copa 2 bail bonds. It's just north of west of San Marcos. And in that parking lot, just east of San Marcos. Sorry, I'm trying to get it zoomed in, but got bad. It looks bad blurry to me. So, right there. There's your officers. They're just waiting down there. They're like, he's got to walk by here sooner or later. So, I'll make them happy. I'm going to walk right by them and keep going the other way this time. So again, when I say I play mind games with them, they play games, I play games. It is what it is. Gotta love it. Another day, another $50. I say, if you do this long enough, you know exactly where they're going to post up, what they're going to do. And yeah, in fairness, I led them to doing that because last time I ducked down this street and then doubled back around the jail. So, they'll talk to their buddies. They'll have other officers helping them non-discreetly, and they'll pass the word. They won't do it over radio traffic. And a lot of people don't know this, but yeah, officers use their personal phones all the time. And if they know that you're watching other things, then that's what they do. So, here you got K9 officer with the sheriff. Both Sheriff K9s. Do you think that's a coincidence after the officer that I spoke with earlier was K9 with via trans? Absolutely not. So we'll just stand here and video him for a few minutes. So again, when I say, they use these interdepartment connections all the time, for those of you who don't know it, officers learned a long time ago that public records are a bad thing for them. That's why they'll do certain phrases, do certain things that the common citizen just don't understand. And once you get to learn those things, you know what to watch for. And again, it is not a coincidence that there are two K9 officers right here when the officer who was concerned about me filming her earlier was a K9 officer with VIA. So, now they're going to get on their cell phone and tell her that I'm going back down to VIA, but that's actually not what I'm going to do. I'm going to head down here back to, Medina, that goes back down by VIA. That's the jail from this side. Those are VIA buildings on the other side of the track. And then VIA's just about 300 meters from here. So it's taking a 1.5 walk. The interesting thing again about this is that when you do what you do, and you're not doing anything wrong, you're filming, they get this paranoia thing that's so strong that it reflects back. And I mean, just like me, yeah, paranoia is a thing. Just because you think someone's following you doesn't necessarily mean they are. At the same time, when you know exactly where they're going to be because of past histories and other things, it's like I told a person before, I'm like, well, you may be paranoid, but that does not mean someone's not out to get you as well. So it's better to be safe than sorry. And in this case, like I said, these officers with VIA, they just do not like being filmed. If you look earlier at the security guard who was taking pictures of me walking by, I snuck by and came up on her blind side and photographed her with her camera out, and she walked away immediately. Why do you think that is? And there you go. Right down there at Martin, a VIA trans officer turned up the street, going the way that they know I'm going to go. Now, if I really wanted to break the law, which I'm not going to take the train track, but that is private property, as a matter of fact. It says, turn back, don't walk on the track. Well, no more live viewers, time to end that.